JJ, how you doing, man?
Doing
Thanks for
pretty.
having me.
Hey, thank you for being here. I appreciate you doing this with me because I've been trying to get you for a while. But I was talking to Brendan,
Yeah,
and he was telling me because he listened to one of my episodes, and he was telling me you're the guy. He goes, you should really get with Johnny because he would
yeah,
you're a really good guest. And I'm like, okay, I think I will. And I asked you, and you did it. You said yes.
yeah.
And I as well. I have notes, so I have notes. But anyways, how I want to first. I was talking earlier about you started at Costco with me, but you started before me, like a year before me.
Yeah. Uh, I started like end of 2016. Yeah.
Okay, I started in the beginning of 2017. So and I was talking about how when you started, you did front end stuff.
Yeah. I was a seasonal in the deli actually. So I went there for pharmacy. My background's pharmacy.
Oh,
So actually, when I applied at Costco, I was still living in Texas, and I was planning on moving. So I applied at some places in San Diego, and Costco San Diego was the first place to call me. So I was trying to get a job before I moved out here, and my background's pharmacy. So I saw that one of the options on there was pharmacy position. So I came in for an interview and all that, and then found out there wasn't a position for the pharmacy, even though it's like one of the options there. They
oh,
didn't have any pharmacy spots available. So, I was kind of ready there, went through everything, did all the interviews. And then, when I found out there wasn't a pharmacy spot, I kind of just, they'll basically assign you a spot. So I ended up in the deli.
got it. Okay,
Yeah.
and so you were assisting there, and I was talking about how you started like I did right before me, and
Uh-huh.
now you have escalated to the point of deli manager.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks,
Congratulations.
man. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah. I didn't expect it like that soon. I was actually a supervisor for a while, so I like the supervisor gig. But yeah, I did feel like moving up and saw a couple opportunities and went forward. It actually worked out. I think luck. I'm kind of lucky. I don't know. I think luck plays a part in it. Sometimes, like sometimes things just align and it kind of just helps out. But yeah, I'm not totally sure.
You is there yeah, you went from supervisor to management. Is it a huge difference in like just like responsibilities? Like do you feel it already, or is it similar?
Um, I mean, slightly. So, kind of where I was. So, like as a supervisor, I mean, Paul. So, the
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 former
previous
manager.
manager, former manager. Yeah. So, as his supervisor, I kind of just wanted to do as much as I could from the get go. As far as relieving him of like responsibilities. So, generally, anytime I've ever worked anywhere, my goal was always to render my direct supervisor, not render them useless, but I want to try to make their job as easy as possible or take over as many responsibilities as possible. That's kind of just how I've always performed anywhere I've been. So when I actually took over his spot, it was I kind of had already been doing pretty much all those things already.
Okay.
He had a lot of like specific experience in it. So as we transitioned, he would always give me help, like let me know like, hey, you want to do this, you want to do this, from experience. But for the most part, I'd say not all of it, but for the most part, I was kind of already doing that. It's just I was actually responsible now instead of having a direct supervisor that where all the blame kind of landed on and all the responsibilities. But yeah, so it was a pretty easy transition. It's kind of what I've been doing for like 3 years, I think. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So
That's crazy. It's crazy now just because I it's hard. I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't see you as a manager yet because I've always
oh,
seen you
yeah.
as a supervisor,
Oh,
and
no
now
worries.
having you in this position, I'm still getting used to it. But one of the things that me, Javier, all the people that get pulled for chicken room,
Yeah,
one of the things we always say is, "Man, it's so hard to say no to you. Like
yeah.
you can't say no to you. You're such a nice guy. It's like it's
Hey,
so hard." So that's one of the things you got going. I say is that you are one of the nicer. individuals that were, and then Trent as well. Like they
Yeah,
couldn't have, I mean, I don't know what you think because you're working with him directly, but I
yeah.
don't think they could have picked anyone better than Trent
Oh, dude.
when it comes to like, I mean, I don't know, it was worth it. I mean, I'm assuming, I mean, I've seen him work hard in the front end, but
Yeah.
and even in Delhi, but I mean, like he just as well a nice guy, like just like
Nah.
a super nice guy, very
Yeah,
respectful.
dude. He's another level, man. I think he's better than I am, to be honest.
Really,
He's got so much experience and so much knowledge. I think yeah, he's totally helping me out. Especially when it comes to like admin. He's like an admin master.
right?
like mastery as far as in that entire building. I don't know, he's on a different level. People are always gunning for him for like information and help. To the first like 2 years I was there, I thought he was like a senior manager AGM, no joke.
He has that about him,
Yeah, because
that
you always
demeanor.
hear his name. Like anytime there's like a problem or anything going on within the building, like his name comes up and you kind of just go to him like, "Hey, I got this problem. Like, how do we fix it?" And then he'll be like, "Oh yeah, you just do this, this, and this." But yeah, man, like for the longest time, I thought, oh, go see the manager Trent, like senior manager, because all the other managers go to him too. And then I found out he was a supervisor one day, and I was like, no.
That's
But that's
funny.
how he likes it. He kind of likes it that way, and he's just a well of knowledge. As when anything Costco, he's another level. So I'm very very fortunate to work with him, and I'm showing him things with the deli, and he's showing me like Costco things, just like not deli specific, but this dude just knows so much. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's been like a couple months, but we're both learning back there. So,
yeah.
yeah,
You guys are solid. You guys are a solid. Sorry, there's a bunch of a really loud motorcycle just drove by. You guys are a very solid team back there. You two, like as a, I couldn't picture any other people being back there
yeah, I
that could do
appreciate
that because you guys are like, yeah, really nice, and it's really hard sometimes to have to go through, when you guys ask me to be in Jigger Room and I
Yeah,
get frustrated, it's like,
I
oh
know.
my
I'm
god, like
sorry, man. I know
no,
it's tough, but I still want to listen. So one of the things is anytime somebody has like a feeling or opinion about something, even if you're like, no, don't worry about it, I still want to listen. Obviously, there's something there. You and Javier and when you're talking about the chicken room and it's just crazy, I still want to like hear it. And if there's something I could do, which we need, bro. We cross train so many people, but we're not cross training fast enough. Isn't it insane?
right, it's very
Like,
insane.
to be honest, I think our department cross trains like just more people than most departments, and it's just still not fast enough. So,
You guys can't like if like a new hire just throw them in Delhi.
so
Is
that's
that
actually the plan. Yeah. So we've actually been like just going through them like for the past couple months, and kind of what we've been talking about like is just like newer people, like just new hires and things like that. It might just become a requisite,
hmm
as far as becoming new, just to cross train to multiple departments. That way, it kind of lines up with seniority, and it lines up with, kind of having newer people trained in as many things as possible, just to alleviate, said things where, you're planning on working a certain department and you're not, you know what I mean? So,
right.
um, hopefully that comes into fruition, but, uh, you know, I, I hear like, I don't want any type of any extra stress. So if there's any like one thing I can do, like just, maybe get another person trained,
hmm
I at least try to do it. So,
That's cool.
but yeah,
I got a question for you.
yeah,
Okay, so this goes back to our conversations in the deli.
yeah,
Uh, if you can have an endless supply of anything,
yeah.
what would it be?
Uh, I mean, the there's different answers.
Money,
It's not
food,
necessarily the most valuable thing. So
food.
I believe in everything that there is or there was, alpha, omega, the most valuable of anything is time. You know what I mean?
That's
Um,
you're very you always have the greatest answers when it comes to
that's,
these, man.
but the funny thing is, I wouldn't want an infinite amount of time.
Right.
Like
I agree.
I don't want to say I enjoy that life is, finite, but I wouldn't want to live forever. I don't know, what kind of channel it is, but or how controversial it is, but um, I don't dream of like going to heaven. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like I don't want to be conscious forever. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Tupac said that. Tupac
Yeah,
Shakur,
yeah,
he said that. He goes, I don't want to die and be reincarnated. I don't want to die and
yeah,
go. I just want to be able. I just want nothing.
yeah,
That's what he
yeah,
said. I don't know if that's what
yeah,
you're if you're agreeing with. That's what you're saying.
yeah, yeah. I kind of agree. It's like
Just done.
I feel like I get my time on here, and once it's over, I'm in the dirt. You know, and I don't think there's anything to. I mean, everybody gets their opinion, but like that's just kind of how I feel, and I kind of like it that way. Like every day should be a good day. You know what I mean? Because you only get a certain amount.
What if
Yeah.
you can have like that question I asked? What if you can have time as much?
Hmm.
You can have as much time as you want, but you can choose when you want it to be over. Would you do
Oh,
that?
dude. Yeah,
You-
that'd be kind of hard. Yeah. So aside from time, I mean, I think I could do that. I think
That's probably a better deal.
after a long time, just there'd be one day where you're just like, you know what, that's it, I'm
I'm
done.
done. I'm done.
Yeah. That's kind of how my grandma or my ex's grandma was, where she lived till she's like 88,
Hmm.
and we would go visit her, a few times a year, and we go in the door, and she lived at a senior care center, and just not kind of lonely, just not too many family around, and
Hmm.
she's at a senior care with other seniors, but the times that we would go visit, you'll walk in and be like, hey grandma, or they call her Oma in Dutch.
Hmm.
Grandma's Oma. So she'll be like, hey Oma, how are you? And she's like, oh hey darling, thanks for visiting. And I'm just waiting for God to take me. And we're like,
Whoa.
Oma, don't say that. That's don't talk about dying. And every
She was
time, man, she'd
done.
be like, no, I lived a good life. I'm just waiting to meet Jesus. So like she I kind of always admired that about her, that she was content with the time that she did have. Granted, like 85 years is a lot, but her kids grew up, her kids grew up, they had kids, and even some of those kids are having kids. So I felt like, her life was full. So she was waiting to greet death as a friend.
Yeah, that's what you
um
want, huh?
yeah,
That's
so I
what
always kind of
everyone
admired
wants.
that. Yeah,
Damn, that's pretty crazy.
yeah, yeah.
That's crazy. Shit.
What about you, man?
If I could have an endless supply of anything,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
you don't ask me that question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something stupid.
Oh, it's all no, man. Hey,
Money. I mean, that's
yeah,
something dumb like money, or if I get endless supply of anything,
yeah.
like
You know what I like? When we play this game, we always have the most honest answers, which I like. It's
me.
just, yeah, because I remember, not to like sidetrack, but like
No, go
we
ahead.
play the dream job, and I remember what your dream job was, and it's
Tell me, what was my dream job?
remember you always say porn star.
I said that. I
Yeah,
don't remember that. I
yeah,
don't
you
think
said that.
but it changes because I don't think if you ask me that right now,
Okay,
it wouldn't be that. You know what I mean?
okay,
Like it always changes. Maybe I was
or
trying to
maybe
be
because
funny or
we're playing the game.
right. Maybe I was just joking.
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah, but
uh,
porn star. Well, I mean, I feel like a porn star would be an interesting job because like if you can get into it and actually
yeah,
do it, because
yeah,
I think I could do it
yeah,
like professionally. Like I could
yeah,
do that. Well, I mean,
dude, that's good.
I'm ready for like okay, to get on there and be sexy,
Yeah,
and then to stop, and then just be
yeah.
like, hey, okay, just talking to her, like okay, like
Like my coffee here, what?
what?
Yeah, just cut off and be like, "Hey, is my coffee here?" Or,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Or and be like, hey, so how are you doing?
yeah,
How's your family? Like I could do
yeah.
that.
Uh,
I could just like stop and then get back on again and just
dude,
like
I think
I
that'd be
think
a
like
crazy
acting.
tough job.
Yeah, exactly. But I think I have that in me to be able
Yeah,
to stop and then go again, stop and go again, stop and go
yeah.
again.
Because then
But
we're doing, like everybody's got a porn name. Everybody's talking about like, "Oh, what would your name be?"
oh,
I think maybe that's how we started talking about it. Is we're trying to think of
I
names.
remember that. I remember
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
Dirk Diggler. That because that's Boogie
What was
Nights.
it? Dirk
That's
Diggler,
Dirk Diggler.
bro.
Dirk Diggler. And then there's Chest Brockwell. That's another one in there. Chest
That's
Brockwell.
Rockwell, dude. Johnny
Um,
Long. all day.
Johnny Long. That's a
Johnny
good one.
Long,
Hey, I'm gonna credit you as Johnny Long.
dude. Yeah, Johnny Long.
No,
Actually, I prefer that. Yeah,
Johnny Long. That's
my
funny.
alias, Johnny Long. Yeah. But yeah, I
That's
remember talking about that. That was super funny.
that's really funny. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we go into those weird question wormholes. I remember, I forgot what it was you asked one time, and I said flying, and everyone looked at me like I was stupid because it was supposed to be more like everyone wanted like a more like thought out wise answer, and I put
Yeah,
fly, and then
yeah,
I remember Odalise was like, "What?" Looked at me like, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
yeah. Did you just waste like a
Yeah,
wish?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, man. So you are so what would you call that? Your ethnicity, Guamanian?
Yeah. So,
That's your
my whole
ethnicity.
my whole life, well, kind of. So tomorrow, so like,
Oh,
from Guam, but the indigenous people, or Chamorro. So, Guamanian is like location wise, and
okay.
then indigenous culturally, it's Chamorro. Pretty old fashioned. So, I mean, my whole life I was raised as Pacific Islander. Um, but I haven't done the 23andMe, but I'm pretty sure, I have like Japanese. My grandpa's part Japanese, and so is my grandma's, part Chinese. So, it's like Pacific Islander and Asian mix. A lot of
Hmm.
people think I'm Filipino. So, uh, we even talked about most frequently asked questions of our life, and mine is like, "Hey, are you Filipino?"
Oh,
Um,
is it really? I didn't know that.
yeah, I get that. I get that all the time. Which I have Filipino family, but I don't speak the language, or I don't really
Mm,
understand too much of the culture. But yeah, from Chamorro, man. I was born in Pomona here in Southern California, and then when I was like 3 or 4, my family moved to Guam, and we kind of lived like in the jungle, where there's like a main road, and then like a dirt road will kind of just fork off, and it goes in maybe like 5 miles in, where it's just a dirt road surrounded by like, you can't see the road that far because it's just surrounded by jungle. So like you just kind of just drive in there, and it kind of winds out, and then like 5 miles in, where my family owns land there. We kind of just live in like
like a farm?
yeah, kind of like a ranch. Um, where a couple of the rooms. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, I don't want to say third worldish, but a lot of the structures. It's not even like buildings. It's like structure. It'd be like 4 posts and a roof. Like, there's like a small unit, maybe like 20 by 30 feet, in length and width, and that's where we would stay. And then you have to leave that structure and walk like 50 feet to another structure where it'll be like 4 posts, and like the corrugated like tin, it's like kind of ripples.
Yeah. Hmm.
So it'll be like 4 posts, and then like with that as a roof, and like that's where we would eat. That's where like the faucet and running water would be, and there's no plumbing, so like the water would come in, but it kind of just goes into a sink, and then the sink was kind of connected to the edge of a hill, and the water would just kind of run down the hill, and there's no real plumbing. And then like 50 feet away from there would be like the bathroom structure, which will just be, it looked like the size of a outhouse, but it'll fit like a toilet, and like it'll just be a pipe with like a sock on it, and then that's how you kind of run the water, and it's cold water. There's no hot water out there. So uh on special occasions, if you wanted hot water, you'd have to fill up a fill up a pot and kind of heat it up and then make a bath. But that's kind of how we grew up. But I was very young, so I kind of didn't really want for much. Like I had a few toys here and there. I was always playing outside. There were times where I was hungry, but we kind of, that means we'd go fishing or something like that. Most of the proteins we got were from the land. We're like 5 miles from the ocean, so we just go fishing, or you have to pay attention to the seasons. Sometimes you can go crabbing or hunting, things like that. Yeah,
Wow.
I
How
liked
long?
it though. I thought it was pretty cool.
That sounds interesting. How long did you do that? Like how long? How when did you move to San Diego? Like what?
Came back. So my family that lived here is from Ranch Cucamonga, which is just by San Bernardino,
Right.
Riverside. Um, like 98.
How old were you?
Yeah, I was like 11. Yeah,
Wow.
98, 99. Um, I was 11, 12, and just came to live with my grandpa, for a better life. It's there's not too much money there in Guam, so people could just kind of get by how they can. Um, but yeah, I came here, and I don't know if I ever told you the first culture shock I had when I got here.
No.
Where okay, so Guam's super small. I mean, I think it's like 40 square miles, maybe. I don't know,
Hmm.
super, super small, but you're never in the car that long. And the fastest speed limit is it's 45. So like you go your whole life like never going above 45 miles per hour. So when I was like 11 or 12, when I came out here, we flew into LAX. Like being in a car that was going like 65, 70, dude, was like blowing my mind. I was
Oh
like,
wow, I
why are
bet
we
it
going
would.
so fast? This is crazy.
Yeah, I bet it would.
Yeah, and you're never in the car that long. So like we were driving from LA to Ranch Cucamonga, which is like an hour maybe.
Hmm.
And I remember getting like anxious in the car, like I'm not in the car this long. Like why are we in here? Why are we in here so long? Where are we going? And I couldn't really understand distance or anything. So I'm like, we must be at the end of the earth by now. Like we've been in this car so long, we're probably running out of land. So we get to my grandpa's house. He wakes me up. He's like, oh, we're here. This is your new home. So we're pulling up, and I see the wall. Maybe like side of the house. And he's like, yeah, this is your new home. We're here. And when we're pulling up, I see like light coming out the side of the walls. And I was like, what the heck kind of building is this? Like, I've never seen anything like that. And the light was making like a square. And like it wasn't just like a flashlight or anything. It looked like structured light, like somebody drew it on there. And then the wall just started moving. And then and then the car went into the house. And I was like, what just happened? I couldn't
Oh,
I
what?
couldn't understand
That's
what was
wild.
going on. But I asked my grandpa, like, what is this? He's like, oh, this is a garage. This is where we put the car. And my mind had never seen a garage before. So I couldn't understand the concept of a
Wow.
wall opening to receive a car. It blew my mind. So that's like one of my favorite culture shock stories. It's like if you don't know what something looks like and it's headed towards you, you can't really like recognize what it is. Your mind will try to, for me, I've seen a wall before, so I could recognize the wall, but like when it was moving, I couldn't really process what was going on. But yeah, man, that was garage, and there's some other things, but that's like my favorite. Like,
That's
hey, you're
I
in the
was
mainland, you're in the
I was
states now. Like,
super I was with you on the ride. That ride. I was listening to you going light coming in, and then when you said I was like garage. That's when I got it. Like what? I mean,
yeah,
I can imagine. I can only imagine that shit, man. That would be really a
yeah,
culture
yeah,
shock type of thing. I always hear people say, I've grown up in California all my life, so
yeah,
I can't really think of something like that. It's oh, you know what? I guess it's kind of the opposite. Maybe
yeah,
not culture shock, but it's when my wife and I went to on a trip to Cancun, and we went
yeah,
to see the pyramids,
yeah,
and that was something that I felt uncomfortable doing because
yeah,
you're driving through like these villages that you're
yeah,
talking about, like, and it's really uncomfortable because I'm like listening to like Apple Music on my
yeah,
phone, like on a big ass bus, and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
driving on a bus going through these villages where they have those like what do you call them
Corrugated,
the
like
corrugated,
tin. Yeah,
right, where you could see that they're
yeah,
like living,
yeah,
like they're not living with they're living off the land. They're living at their
yeah.
most minimal, and that it made me feel really, really, maybe I don't know if that's what you call opposite of culture shock, but that made me feel like what we were
I think
doing
it.
was really, and then just like I felt like I was the only one who noticed it. Everyone's just like on
Yeah,
their phone reading or
yeah.
doing something, and I
Well,
just felt
you're going to see something for fun, and you're passing people that are just struggling day to day.
right, and it just
Yeah,
made me feel weird, like just not
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's kind of well, it's the contrast, right?
Right,
You can feel the contrast between your reality and somebody who's like 20 feet away. Like it's kind of the
and like
difference and the
and what
gap
are they
is
think? And
huge.
I wonder what they're thinking.
Yeah,
Like they probably see this all the time. Just these buses that go by of people who are just there to
yeah.
spend money and just visit
To
and just
sightsee. Yeah,
sightsee. Yeah, I just
yeah,
it felt really uncomfortable.
yeah. Where they're just like, imagine you have like so much money and so much food, where you just leave all that and go see stuff.
Right,
Right?
right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, it's interesting.
that's crazy.
So you came to San Diego,
Yeah,
and you came to California. Yeah,
yeah.
that was your living space. And what was your you went to school? You went to college?
Well, I did like some CC, some community college for like pharmaceuticals and stuff like that, and I was licensed with California to, like dispense prescriptions or actually, like work under a pharmacist.
Mhm.
But I didn't really do too much of that. I was mainly like usually always been a manager for a while, so like just handle like the day to day of pharmaceuticals for like a pharmacist and things like that. But no, not really, man. Like most of my experience is just from like working on the job and just working with people pretty much.
So
And
you're
like I like to like self educate. So I do like to read and stuff like that about mostly nonfiction. I like if I spend time reading something that I could apply it or use it somehow. Which stories are nice, they're just not really my taste.
so you're more of a nonfiction type of guy.
Yeah, nonfiction. I like just things that I can apply or things that can help me, which I enjoy reading. So
And so Brendan, we spoke about earlier, was saying that you're a stock guy. You're
so I
a
mean, I used to be. So I did, take college courses in investing and things like that. I was just, dude, like I'm saying, I don't know, I was just lucky, man. Like, I I still don't know too much. It's just my professor he was an ex CEO of a bank, and he was calling plays like during like the whole like right before like 2006 2007 before the whole crash and all that. He
right.
was calling out plays and telling us to keep an eye out for stuff, and like to see them play out like afterwards, it just in retrospect, man, it just blew my mind. Like, who was this dude? But yeah, my professor, who he was teaching a investment course, and like researching indexes and stuff like that to use for investing. He was ex CEO at a bank, and he kind of just he retired or sold off whatever his partnership that he owned, and I don't know if he was just bored, but he just wanted to teach at some community college in Palm Springs, which, he ended up being my professor. But he would like give us heads ups. Like he would just be like, hey, in the next couple of years, you're going to like start seeing this thing called Twitter. It's going to be huge.
Oh
And
shit.
he was telling us, like things like, I don't remember if he talked about Facebook, but it was before things attached, their social profiles like Facebook, Twitter, and all those, Instagram, things like that. Like, all businesses now will always have the link to that. So, but he told us that in the future, people are going to start linking their connections like that. And like, I remember the first time I saw it, we're watching like some clip of the news, and it was like the news, like, hey, today the weather's blah blah blah, and then at the end we saw like, here's our Twitter and then here's our Facebook, and I
Uh,
was like, man, this dude just totally called it out. Like, um, yeah, and he told us about some things to do, like, during the crash, like, which companies that no matter what happened, like wouldn't go down, they would still like survive it. So if we felt like investing in those companies, like totally go for it. But he always made it vague, like in a way where he had like plausible deniability, like, hey, I'm just saying it to say it, you can believe it if you want,
right.
which kind of kept some people on the edge. But dude, like in retrospect, I was like thinking about this dude, or actually I would like tell some of my friends who are like pharmacist guys I worked with, just, had a lot of money, that they were just making moves that, my professor was talking about, and just making, just, I don't know, maybe millions. It's pretty crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, I like to read about it a lot, but I'm not really too uh adept to it.
You haven't gotten into crypto at all or NFTs, something like that?
I did like 2017, 2018. I think this is the story Brendan was talking about, is just being around like, like-minded people, and just, if you have a group of dudes that are just always talking about, cryptocurrency, and always researching and always learning and always just trying to do the best they can, like a solid effort between a group of dudes, will put out some good things. So I remember getting in on like Ethereum at like, I think it's like $120 or something like that. And just like 2000
Oh,
2018, like early, yeah.
yeah.
And just, buying like maybe like $1,000 worth of that. And then just I forgot about it, dude. Like it was in my, I think like the whole crypto thing ended, and um, I still had like my portfolio and my hard drive and off Coinbase and all that, and then like it just, I think like a few years later, it just like blew up like crazy. Um, but yeah, I mean, dude, to be honest, like I don't know, it's just luck,
Right.
really. I don't mean to say like everything's lucky, but I don't know. I
No,
just
yeah.
maybe I'm just lucky and fortunate is what I want to say. Just
It's like gambling. I mean,
oh,
you have
dude,
to
totally.
it's risky. It's
Yeah,
very risky, and then I'm not good. I'm not a good gambler, so
yeah,
that's why this all this crypto stuff. I mean, I put a little into certain coins and
yeah.
stocks, but I I only give what I can afford to lose.
Walk away with already. Yeah,
Right. And
yeah,
then even then, like, I mean, I've been doing this for a couple years, and I feel like I'm not lucky enough to ever be in like that your position to where all something that I have put money into is gonna go up, crazy
yeah,
up. So I'm just like playing it safe and just kind of, I mean,
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. Brendan was telling me about um, you know,
Brendan grinds, man.
he grinds
He
every
grinds
day. He's
every
doing something.
minute,
He's doing
every
some, yeah,
hour.
he's doing some
He's
move.
madman. See, and that's like when you're investing that much time and effort. Like he, I know he puts a lot of effort into it, and sometimes he's just stressed, man. He's just
Right.
like, I know he's there at work, but he's got a lot on his mind, and he's just thinking about some of the moves he made that morning or that afternoon.
Right.
And
Right.
actually, the other day we're talking about how the goal is where you're making enough off it, where that's kind of what you're doing. Because if you have a lot tied up, you have to watch it like all day. You gotta to cultivate it and keep an eye on it and always be moving with the ebbs and flows. So he kind of gets distracted at work, and he's not putting enough time into that other venture, which can sustain some losses, but he's working towards that dream of not punching the clock and just
Right.
working on that, which he's definitely got a passion for that. So you know kudos to him, because I know that dude's always grinding. He's always talking about it. That's his thing.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
is
a
his thing.
passion. So
Right, right, and he gets so bummed and he gets so
yeah,
happy at times, like,
yeah,
depending on what's
yeah,
happening with his stuff.
yeah.
It's so
What's funny
crazy.
is just because you're starting to get to know him, you could tell how the market's doing just by him walking in.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Where you know what I
I
mean? Like
haven't yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but I mean, I really started he's one of the guys, we both talked about this recently about how, he came in, he started working there a year before I did. He
yeah,
didn't know when I first met him, we just first met in produce. Like
yeah,
I mean, I'd seen him, but I never knew who he was, and
yeah,
I don't think he even. I mean, I think he even said that too. He didn't know who I was, and
yeah.
now we're barely meeting each other for the
It's
first
been
time.
like 4 years.
Right?
Yeah,
Exactly. 5 years. I've been there for 5 years this
yeah,
next month. So
yeah.
so it's like it it's crazy how Costco is. There's so many people, and
Oh yeah,
there's people like you don't see ever, or you forget about them, and then you see them again, and they
yeah,
leave and they come back. And
yeah,
so he's one of those guys, and we're barely getting to know each other. So I don't know that about him yet, but I bet you. Thanks for giving me the heads up. I'm gonna know
yeah,
that
yeah.
now when
It's
I walk
just
in, I see him.
yeah. If he's just like chilled, relaxed, or just super excited, be like, "Oh man, must be a good day in the market."
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good to
Yeah,
know.
but yeah,
Hell
he's a
yeah.
funny dude.
Yeah, but he's getting me onto some stuff, and I was talking to a guy. I did an episode with him. He works for a big company, and
Hmm.
this guy he he collects NFTs, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
been trying to explain that to me.
yeah.
NFTs are it's a hard thing for me to,
Concept.
yeah, for me to
Yeah,
understand. But I mean, I feel like that's going to be the future.
yeah. See, that's the funny thing. But so a quote I like, regardless of subject matter, regardless of industry, and I hope it's still applicable. But I always liked it from a lot of investing moguls is when people are afraid, uh, when people are fearful, be greedy, and when people are greedy, be fearful. So I kind of always like that, where if you're doing something and like you're kind of afraid it'll make it or it won't, and nobody's sure, everybody's afraid you might make it or it might not, that there's like some potential there, that if you're right, if you make the right choice, like it could pay off you know vastly, um versus when everybody seems to be making money and everybody is just trying to get that, everybody's cashing in. Um, the potential is lost where you should be fearful about what's going on because, that's like not like a natural law where, everybody's paying out and everybody's winning and things like that. Like somebody's got to lose. So, um, that's kind of it's one of my favorite quotes from Warren Buffett is,
Oh,
when people are greedy, be fearful. When people are fearful, be greedy.
I like that.
Um, yeah. So I always use that as one of my gauges or one of my baselines, whenever, no matter the industry or no matter what you're reading is, it's no matter what the constant is, you're dealing with people. And if you're dealing with people, there's always emotions about certain things and there's always like anxiety and things like that. So it's one of the quotes that I always use to kind of keep myself grounded and kind of help myself have confidence if I'm making a decision that looks risky. But as long as I believe in it, then I can look back. Even if I did take a loss, I can look back and feel like, I did what I should have and I did what I was supposed to. So even if I do take a L, the best thing I could do is learn from it. But yeah, that's kind of one of the things I do. So it's kind of nice that, there people are learning about these NFTs and like maybe this thing will be great, maybe it won't, just we don't know. um so kind of like risk and reward kind of thing where
Right,
just take your best shot, do the best you can.
right. And don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, diversify. Yeah, but NFTs is a crazy concept. They're kind of correlating it to like the 99 or
Mhm.
early 90s 80s dot-com boom where just nobody knew where it was going to go and people were
Right.
like, the people who were there like buying addresses, www's like address lines and host sites and then cashing out like later on. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of saying it's kind of like that, but there's a lot of money going into it right now. Um,
Yes, and I don't I'm still trying to understand it. It's so, complex, like, even, like, what my friend was telling me, he was telling me about, I forget what it's called now. Shoot. Uh,
but
Gorilla I forget what it's called.
oh yeah, like Gorilla Punks
Gorilla Punks, yeah, that's like
or
the
Crypto Punks and
yeah, Gorilla something, I
Gorilla
forget.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But basically, it's the NFT designs and things like that.
right.
It
Those are
looks
like the
like a
hot ones.
membership. Yeah, I know they're spending like hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of them. Um, yeah, man, that's probably like the biggest lines. I don't know if you ever heard of a dude named Gary V.
Mm-mm.
So he's on YouTube, and he comes across my feed a lot, and he talks a ton about like NFTs and things like that. He talks about CryptoPunks, and he talks about Gorilla. I don't know the last name of it, but he talks about NFTs being the future, and he's definitely a grinder, definitely a hustler. He makes. I mean, I don't know how much he makes, but I assume he's a millionaire. But he's really pushing it, and he seems like he's one of like the lead people, like pushing that message, or at least on my feed, he does. But yeah, Gary V. If you're looking for info, I think he's got some info there.
He's a YouTuber?
Yeah, he's a YouTuber. I mean, he has like a media company, but when he comes across my feed on YouTube a lot, where he talks a ton about NFTs and he talks about making moves, and he'll get on the line with like just a lot of like, I'm not sure if they're like the best people in the market, but he'll talk to like, I remember he was on there with like Logan Paul or just people, just talking about moving around millions of dollars in NFTs and things like that. Um, and I know he's a like a speaker at a lot of like entrepreneur events and things like that. So
Okay.
um, yeah, but I don't know if I know too much or if I understand it the same as well. Where I think the question was always like assigning value to like it's non fungible, so like it's not like like an actual physical item with value, that kind of that warrants value,
Mhm.
versus like something that we assign it value because if there's like a limited supply and everybody's demanding it, like why is that photo of that gorilla worth $200,000 that somebody paid? I guess kind of like art.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this one, I forget what it is. It might be the CryptoPunks. I think that's
Yeah,
what it is. It's Jay-Z bought one for
yeah,
500,000. You saw
yeah,
that
yeah,
one? Have you seen
yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's well, he's using it as
It's Twitter. It's Twitter.
like a
Okay.
moniker for his social media, right? So
Right. But have you
yeah,
like the design is like he paid $500,000, half a
yeah,
million for it.
yeah,
It's like it's simple. It's like a
yeah,
simple piece of like art.
yeah, yeah.
It's someone
So say somebody printed that and put it on like and framed it, and you saw it at a garage sale. What
right.
was, yeah.
That would be wild. That
But
would
you know
be
what I mean? Like you don't know that it has value assigned to it other than Jay Z paid 500.
right. So that's why
Yeah,
that was the first NFT I ever saw, and that confused the hell out of me. I go,
yeah,
wait a minute, what?
yeah.
But
So I
if
know,
Jay Z's doing it, that's what made me think, okay, this is a real thing. Because at
yeah,
first I was
like
like, what? And then but once I heard these businessmen are really getting
yeah,
behind these, it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. So
question mark.
definitely, like there's he obviously he sees value there, and I know that when you buy one of those, like the ones that Jay Z brought, like it's kind of like a membership, like
Hmm.
it's kind of like a key where if you have one, you can enter certain area or like events or things like that where it'd be like gorillas only, whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm not sure if that's kind of what adds value to it.
Yeah, like a
But
membership.
yeah, I don't know if you and Brendan ever talked about this place. There's like open sea
Hmm.
sandbox, like markets and things like that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know too much either as far as metaverse and things like that and how it's going to play out. But
The metaverse.
yeah,
Yeah, man. I don't know. The future is going to be interesting. I'm confused, but I will figure it out one day.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what they said about the internet, man.
Exact. And that's something that, like, I was talking to another guy about, like, I'm gonna sound like a broken record on the podcast, but I don't care. They like it's one of those things where, like, let's go back to the Wild West days. Let's pretend we're
Yeah.
living in those
Oh
days,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And you saw a parked motorcycle on the
Hmm.
side of the road.
Yeah,
We would be like, what is this?
yeah,
We see it, we understand what it is with our eyeballs, but
yeah.
we can't understand how complex
Oh yeah,
the parts, all the gears, everything to
yeah, yeah,
make it run. We didn't even know it runs. We just see it
yeah,
parked. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of like that
yeah.
looking at it, like it, and we don't know, but it's this complex
It could
machine,
be something just super, super valuable. Yeah.
right? And that's basically what's going on right now. And then, like back in the Western days, and I'm taking that
Hmm.
again, if you were trying to explain someone what a meme was,
Yeah,
you couldn't.
yeah,
There'd be no way to explain to someone what a meme is.
yeah,
I mean, it'd be
yeah,
really hard.
yeah, yeah,
But it's a thing. A meme is a thing that
yeah,
we
yeah,
all understand, or most of us understand today. But
yeah,
how it's like this whole, like, that all this is happening in 100 years is going to be like, oh, I can,
yeah,
we understand it, it's easy.
yeah. But I think like at the beginning, obviously we're at the beginning of something, and in that confusion and in that complexity is like where all the excitement lies, where all the potential lies.
Right.
It has the potential to change the world, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's going to be interesting to see how it does that. And it's going to be really hard to explain to my parents all
yeah,
this stuff, because it's really hard to explain to my parents stuff, things that's going on right now.
yeah, yeah. I don't think my mom's even heard the term NFT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think my mom has either.
Yeah, she barely got used to Facebook. She loves Facebook, man. She like uses it to like talk to family. But
Hey,
yeah, she just got used to Facebook and she uses it to talk to family like all over the world.
my grandma is one of those
Yeah,
those people you see on the memes.
yeah,
Like like someone posts something like really personal, and then, like, she'll be like, happy birthday,
yeah.
or like, I love you.
Right? Just saw the name.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
saw the name.
That's my
Like,
grandma. My grandma
yeah.
does that all
Be
the
like,
time.
no, you don't do that here, Grandma. Like, this is where you go.
Oh my god, it's so funny sometimes. Like, I think my sister posted something really, like something stupid, like a meme or raunch, something raunchy. Like, just like,
Yeah,
my sister's very, crazy. And
yeah,
my grandma put, "Oh, shame on you,"
yeah,
like, on the comments. Like, and we're all like, "Grandma," calling her out.
yeah. We don't send her a text. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh my gosh! The old people seem to really like Facebook.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of how it's it's turning out is the retention of certain individuals in Facebook is kind of showing some patterns and showing some trends. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's kind of funny.
That's crazy. I remember when Facebook was nothing. I
Yeah,
remember when it was just simple, like you were talking about earlier.
yeah, you remember that?
When it was just simple. I remember MySpace. Did
Really,
you ever get on MySpace?
dude? I had MySpace, man.
Me
I
too.
remember that.
I had like
Yeah, yeah,
I had you stick a song.
yeah,
I had the dip. You put your hand up on your hip on my MySpace page. That was me.
dude. Yeah, and you know what's funny is like it was MySpace was so much fun,
Yeah.
but it just I think it gave I don't know if it gave so much control and creativity to the owner of the page or to the person who had their page where dude I remember I would open up I would visit some people's page and it would just blind me because like they just did something crazy and I'm just like oh I can't read what's going on like you're not a programmer.
Right. Right. I remember that.
They
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
just customize the hell out of it and I was just like dang I'm not even gonna take a look at this page and then Facebook pretty much exactly the same concept and just infinitely more you know successful as
Right.
a simplified version of it which kind of just blows your mind which is maybe too much creativity is a bad thing is that even a
That's
can you even
interesting.
say that well
That's
I
interesting.
just think it's funny how something with less control was just infinitely better
Well,
or successful.
I think that that Tom, the guy who made
Yeah, yeah,
MySpace, I
yeah,
think he sold it like a couple years in. Like he gave up
yeah.
on it. He sold it and he gave up
Oh
on it.
yeah,
So other people took it over, and that's probably what happened. And they just
yeah,
turned it into this fucking this
yeah,
like you said, like just a machine that was just with all these moving
yeah,
parts. And when like you said Facebook, but even then, like Facebook, I would say you could say the same thing about Facebook because like it
yeah,
was way more simpler back then. It was
yeah,
easier to
yeah,
use, simple.
yeah, yeah.
Now there's all these running parts in it. There's like to have the marketplace hooked up to it. Have you seen the
Yeah, yeah,
marketplace? They
yeah,
have
yeah.
all these different
Dude,
things that are like
it gets once that marketplace came on, it started getting like pretty complex because you didn't know like what page, like were you at the store, were you not at the store? It's getting kind of crazy.
and then I don't like how sometimes it'll tell me what my friends are selling. I don't want to like
Yeah,
that's kind of personal. Like I don't want to see what my friends are selling. Like I mean, just
yeah,
I feel like I wouldn't want people to see what I'm selling. I want it to be like a
yeah,
private thing, you know. But I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
Maybe you do. Maybe some people don't care and do, but I don't think I would want that. Like
yeah.
if I'm selling
There's
something person. Like what if I'm selling like I don't know. Try to think of something that's personal that
um
you wouldn't want no one to know. I don't know.
um selling something personal. I don't know.
Like I said,
Your
I have a lot of
car,
I have a lot of
selling your
video
car. I
game
don't know.
stuff. I have a lot
Yeah.
of video game stuff, so I might want to sell that. But I don't want people to know I'm a nerd. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like I have the box set of like Minecraft and or
Hey
something.
man, that's cool. You like what you like. It's all good.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I just me. I just me. I don't know. Maybe some
Yeah,
people don't
yeah.
care. I don't know. I care,
Yeah, it's all good, man.
but I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Facebook does. It's a lot different now. But MySpace. Do you remember the top 8 or top 4 or something like that?
Yeah, top 8, top 4, top 10. I remember like, dude, that would start fights.
Yeah, I
Remember,
used
we're
to.
like, "Well, if you're in
Oh,
my top 10, I need to be in your top 10." Or
right,
like,
right. And I
I
remember,
remember people having to explain, like, "Hey, all right, baby, the only reason why you're number 2 is, my mom's got to be my number 1." She's like,
right.
"I don't care. If you're my number 1, I'm gonna be your number 1."
And I remember I would constantly update it. Like, why?
Yeah,
You didn't need to do. I would always like, oh,
yeah,
I gotta change it. I gotta go
dude.
and change my MySpace top
Yeah.
5, top 8, whatever it
Or
is.
like you go out with your friends, right? And like one of your friends did like a party foul, and then you get the notice like Jeremy moved you from 7 to 8, and you're like, why?
Because you got drunk last night, motherfucker.
Yeah, man. Everybody dropped you one. It's like you got demoted, man, and you're
Yeah,
like, dang.
but yeah, that was like a weird thing. That was like a
Yeah,
weird thing. That like what does that mean?
yeah.
Like what does that
It
mean? Why would they make that? Like
it
that's a
was like
weird thing.
it kind of made you visualize like it was almost like a form of social control where it displayed to you in real time how important you are to this person against your peers. It's kind of crazy.
But it showed
And
your
it
friends that too, like
yeah,
who you deem
right? Exactly.
to
And
be special enough to put in
it kind of
this.
just put it up there. And you know what I like too is you would see like the promotion of like from meeting someone to dating all the way to like married. Like say a girl, like you meet a girl and you're talking to her. So like, hey, you put her in there, you're top 10. And then, you've been going out for a while and then you're official. All right, like top 5. And then you start passing up like your family and stuff, like number 1 spot, my wife. Like it's crazy to see like the gradual promotion of
But like,
like a
yeah.
stranger to wife. It's funny.
But like, what was that boardroom meeting like? Like, let's piss people off. Let's just do like
Yeah.
a top 10, and
Yeah.
like they had to have known it was going to start problems for people.
Yeah, dude, it'd be worse if it was like some like social genius doctor. He's like, "Hey, I just want to see how this plays out. Like, what if
Right.
we give them this option and then just see what happens?" But yeah, man, it's kind of crazy to just see every person's representation of those around them and like kind of just they laid it out like these are the top 10 people in my life and in that order. It's kind of crazy.
That is really crazy. Now that, like, I mean, at the time, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I was like, "It's
Yeah.
cool." But now
Yeah.
looking, like, in retrospect, it's like,
Yeah,
that's a
looking back.
weird fucking thing
Yeah.
to put on
Yeah.
an app.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really weird.
And they say like you as a person, you're like the summation of like the 5 people you spend like the most time with. Like it's kind of hard to like not be a summation of, the 5 closest or the 10 closest people. Just you start adjusting and synchronizing, subconsciously and things like that. But yeah, to like just have those people like 1 through 10 and it's kind of number 1, you're number 2, you're number 3. That's it's I know I haven't seen anything like it since, but that was just looking back at it, like that was just a crazy thing.
I like that. I mean, and I like to think that is that a real thing you learned like somewhere, that you sync up with, like, if you start hanging out, it makes sense. You
Yeah,
hang out
yeah,
with certain
yeah. So
people.
it's kind of just one of those. I'm not sure if it's like science backed or anything like that, but it's just kind of one of those things that like a social agreement where you become the summation of like the top 5, the top 10 people you spend time with, and your body or you socially conscious, you'll start having similarities with just the people around you. I don't, it could be habits, it could be ideas, it could be likes, dislikes, things like that. They'll start synchronizing. You know like I don't know if like you'll probably notice it more with like like your partner, where you go from complete stranger to like start finishing sentences to having the same likes, dislikes, or just really getting to know them so well. You know what I mean? Where it's kind of like yourself. Or there are times where they would know you better than you know yourself. You know what I mean?
Bro, what does it mean when that doesn't happen? Because I love my wife.
Yeah.
We get along just fine. But there's some times when I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And
Yeah.
her to me too. I'm like, what?" So,
I don't
what
know.
does that
Does she
mean? Because we had that the other day where it's like
yeah.
she was texting me all this stuff. I go, "Are you reading your text? Because what you're texting me right now makes no fucking sense." And we got into a huge fight, but we're
Yeah.
cool. We ended up resolving it. We're cool, but
Yeah.
it was just like I feel like sometimes we're not. I mean, I feel
Dude,
like,
I
and
I
like I feel
love
like we should be.
I
We should
love
be,
the honesty, man. I
but we're
love the
not.
honesty. No, I mean, it's not like all the time, but I mean, maybe you'll see like the most similarities, or like just the things that bring you too close is like when it comes to your kid. It's
Hmm.
like that's just when in the perspective of your kid, just things between two will click. Or I'm grasping here, but I wouldn't think it'd be all the time, um but yeah, man, I think it would just happen. You probably know her super, super, super well, but then there's times it's like, who are you? You know what I
But
mean?
no, I know that what you're talking about, the syncing of the people around you, the
Yeah,
synchronizing.
yeah,
I think that what was I gonna say? I think that is really wise because of the fact that I've done that in the past where I have taken people out of my life because I didn't want.
yeah,
I've not, let people in my life. Like, I would stop talking to people because I didn't like the energy, or like
yeah. If they're bad for you,
what they were putting out. Like, I didn't want
yeah,
to be part of that. Like,
yeah,
like
and
maybe
then
like you're saying.
that's you taking care of your life, taking care of your health.
Right.
Um, but yeah, they say it takes like a strong person to be able to take someone out of your life that's bad for you. Like some
Oh,
people have trouble with it, but
I do that shit all
it's
the time.
Yeah. Oh, good for you, man. Good. Maintaining your life.
I do that shit all the time. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck.
I'm not too good at that. That's something that's hard for me is cutting or letting go, things like that.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. I
some of my
mean,
weak points.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's probably one of the things. It's you ever hear like loyalty to a fault?
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to be that. I used to be
Or
that way.
like
I used to be
yeah,
that way.
like nice to a fault where
Hmm.
it's just all the way, man, into the black.
Hmm.
But yeah, trying to learn.
Right. Hey, that's
Yeah.
it's interesting. That's an interesting concept. I like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
The way everything you're saying, it's very wise. But I I don't think that the top 10 in MySpace was represents
Was it
that
good
at all,
yeah.
because that's just like a such a conceited, like, narcissistic thing to do. Like, it's just
Yeah, it's
like
kind of like
you're just like making people. I don't know. I just feel like I keep going back to that. Sorry, but that's just like a stupid thing,
no, it's all good.
and
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
it doesn't represent that. It doesn't represent that at all,
Yeah.
because you're putting those people who you think.
Yeah, yeah.
But what if there's someone in your group that is
Yeah.
your friend? You don't realize it, but you don't put them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a conundrum sometimes, man, where you're trying to describe the complexity of your life and your relationships, things that you hold dear in your life. You're trying to describe it in a linear 1 through 10 pattern.
yes,
So,
it's
I
someone
mean, which
trying
could
to.
almost be impossible, but
I like that.
yeah,
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 someone's trying to box these 10 people, like, these are my most important
yeah,
people,
yeah.
when
And they wouldn't give you
realistically
any
it's
other
like,
options. Like you couldn't expand it, you couldn't make it lateral.
I think at one point
Yeah,
it was lower, and then they would push it out.
yeah,
I think that's what or I don't know if it was like
yeah.
a.
Because you're talking about like a top four, top three. I just
It
remember the
was
top 10. Yeah,
it was real minimal at one point, and I
yeah,
remember
yeah,
they expanded it to. I don't know, even like right now we're talking about top 10, top 5, top 4. I don't
yeah,
know what the real numbers were,
yeah, yeah,
but I know that there was definitely a group of people you would put on the front of your page
yeah,
that was like this fucking
yeah.
stupid. Oh my
Dude, talk
god.
about kickback. You got those.
And it
Remember,
didn't last long either.
yeah,
It
it didn't
didn't it
last
lasted
long.
like a couple years.
I remember. So, yeah, and then you'd pick your song like you had you put your hand up on
You
my,
know that song? You remember that song?
yeah, I
That
remember
was a
that.
dope song. And people would laugh and leave comments on my
Yeah,
wall, and they'd be
yeah.
like, "Dude, the dip, that's the best song. Like, a good choice." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah. I remember, yeah, like it would kind of be, I would change it often. I would change it like how I was feeling. I remember most of the time it'd be good, and then like I'd have a breakup, and I'd just sad dude.
Hey, I would do the same fucking
This is
thing.
how I'm feeling
I
right now.
would
Come
do
see
the
my
same.
page.
Yeah, like a super depressing photo. I can't live if living is without you. You'd be like, "Are you okay, bro?"
I'd be like, no, didn't you see my page?
Yeah.
That's why I had that, so you don't have to ask me.
Yeah, right. It's so sad that these kids don't know MySpace. That was such an experience.
Yeah,
Like, all, and
yeah,
then
man.
TikTok's the new thing, but
Yeah,
man, MySpace was, oh, rest in peace, MySpace.
yeah, yeah. That was crazy. And then they had that, and I remember how voicemail or songs at the end of a voicemail used to be a thing. Do you remember that?
Wait. Be more
Like, say you
specific.
call someone and you get their
Oh,
voicemail, instead of saying like leave your number, it used to be a song. Remember
you would
that?
record it. You would put your phone.
Yeah,
I
you put
remember
your
that,
phone up to the.
bro. I
Yeah,
used to do. You ever watch Dumb and Dumber?
yeah. I love Dumb and Dumber, man.
I used to, my voicemail for like years, bro,
Yeah.
was the part where, "Hey guys, oh, big gulps, huh? All right, well, see you later." That was it. That was my voicemail for the longest, bro. Just that
You
part.
know what's funny is I know you love that movie because someone who loves that movie that much and would watch it as many times as I'm assuming you've seen it
Hmm.
would pick that frame, that 5-10 seconds, because it's not like the most famous part of the
Mm-mm,
movie by
mm-mm.
any means, but
Right, but you
you
know that
love
part.
that movie so much, you've seen it so much, so you can compartmentalize the whole movie, and like that's like, and it's totally relevant to to a phone call and missing someone. See, now I want to
I
watch it again
guess.
because I
I
want to look
guess.
for that part because I know he talked about the big gulp, but
Okay,
that's kind of awkward where he's like, "Well,
yeah, it's he goes to a 7-Eleven, walks out, and
yeah,
and Jim Carrey just walks out, and these two black guys are just drinking big
yeah,
gulps, and he
yeah."
just walks out and he goes, "Hey guys, oh big gulps, huh? All
Well,
right," and they don't say shit, and he goes, "Well, see you later."
dude, that's I love that movie. I like when he's like, "Where'd you get that extra money? I sold Petey. Petey was dead. His head was missing. Well, Harry, I took care of it."
Took care of it. Yeah, yeah.
And
My
then it
bad.
cuts to the kid. It cuts to the kid, and
Right.
he's petting a bird
Oh my gosh.
with his head duct taped to his body,
Another part I had.
singing "Pretty Bird."
I used to take parts of that movie and just put it on my voicemail often, but that was
Yeah,
the one I had for years. That one, the Big
yeah,
Gulp one. But there
yeah,
was another one I took where it was the one where he, because I love that movie so much. The one
yeah,
where he goes, "Old people, or senior citizens,
yeah.
old and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose." Well,
Right?
don't go. He goes, don't go dying on me.
What happened? I got robbed by an old
Sweet
woman
old
in a
lady on a
wheelchair
motorized cart. Yeah,
on a motorized cart.
I didn't even see it coming.
Oh, dude.
So
Yeah,
Dumb and Dumber. What were we talking about? Dumb and Dumber.
yeah,
Great movie. When you said Boogie Nights, you asked about
yeah.
Boogie
I
Nights.
just remember you have a great respect for Boogie Nights.
It's a very, very good movie.
Yeah.
Uh, Paul Thomas Anderson. You know who that is?
Ah, I don't.
He did that movie. Boogie
Yeah.
Nights. He did Magnolia. Have you seen Magnolia with Tom Cruise? It's a really good
No.
movie as well.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
that one's about the Bible and God. It's a really interesting movie.
Yeah.
Um, what else did he do? There Will Be Blood.
Dude.
You seen that
Yeah.
movie? That's a
Yeah.
fucking
I
good
like that.
movie.
That movie is amazing.
Okay, so it's like that. So it's like
Yeah.
cinematic history. Like that movie
Like
would go in
just
cinematic
brilliant
history.
drama. Yeah. So there
So
will be
that
blood.
Boogie Nights is one of his first.
Yeah.
That is like
Dude.
it's like that. It would everything about that movie is
Yeah.
cinematic.
Yeah.
It's
See
like
if I
it's like the first 20 minutes of like he does weird things. Like in the first 20 minutes of There Will Be Blood,
yeah.
he there's no dialogue. It's all
Yeah.
just you're watching something happen.
I try to enjoy and appreciate like well-made movies. Just when it's like appreciating art. Where they had a vision and everybody worked together to execute. And I
That's
mean,
exactly what it's a very great piece of art.
yeah,
And if you've seen There Will Be Blood, you understand
yeah,
who that director is and what he does. He does
okay,
he tells these crazy stories, and
yeah, yeah.
it
It's
just
like a
it's so
journey,
great.
man. Yeah,
Yes, and that's
yeah.
exactly what.
Okay, I
That's
like
a
that.
really good movie, Boogie
Yeah,
Nights. And then
yeah,
um, what else did he do? He also did Punch Drunk Love.
I like Punch Drunk Love.
He
Yeah,
did that movie as well.
yeah.
Really good
Yeah,
movie.
it's
He
kind of
uses,
interesting to see Adam Sandler in a
but
non-comedy.
it's like that vibe. He has that vibe.
Yeah,
It's like if you Punch Drunk Love, There'll
yeah,
Be Blood, Boogie Nights, Magnolia. It's like that. There's like this tone of like
hmm,
seriousness,
yeah,
and like you're not supposed to laugh, but there's crazy
yeah,
things that are like things that you're supposed to laugh at. Like I feel like they're making you try to laugh, but you're
yeah,
like, this isn't funny. Like this is
yeah,
weird. This like
yeah,
this is creepy kind of. It's like a
yeah.
creepy tone. Philip Seymour Hoffman is also in Boogie Nights.
Okay,
Yeah, there's a bunch of people in that movie, but
that's a lot of
it's
heavy
just really
hitters.
good. Lot, but it was back then when you didn't. They were nobody back then.
Yeah, yeah,
Like all those people I just mentioned were no, except for Burt Reynolds maybe. I mean, he was
yeah,
already,
yeah,
but all of them were like
yeah. Burt Reynolds already made
no
man.
one knew Don Cheadle, no one knew Philip Seymour Hoffman, no one knew
Marky Mark.
Mark
Uh-huh.
Wahlberg. Yeah, no one
Yeah,
knew John C. Riley,
yeah.
Julianne Moore. I guess maybe she was
A
pretty
little
big.
bit, kind of like Burt Reynolds. Yeah,
Right, right. So
yeah,
it's one of those movies, man. It's a really good movie. I love it. I love that movie. And then the ending is great. The
yeah. All
ending
right.
is
See, I want to watch it, but I
it's
want to
a,
watch Dumb and Dumber first now. Since you started talking about it, I'm getting like nostalgic, man. I want to watch it.
how long has it been since you've seen that movie?
Dumb and Dumber.
Have you ever
Dude,
seen it?
yeah, dude, I love that movie. It was a favorite growing up, with family. Probably don't love it as much as you do, but I've seen it, maybe 100 times.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I like the simplicity of it. I like the shticks, Jim Carrey, he's actually one of my, I'd say he's like top 10, one of my favorite actors. I just he puts a lot of energy into like everything. Um he's always accused. I don't know if you've seen Liar Liar. Um,
Yes,
but
I've seen that movie.
you know, he's accused of being like an over actor. He's always just doing just way more, you know, kind of outshining a lot of the other actors. But
Yeah,
you know, I like the way he does things, and you know, has a take on a character. And you know, he's made a lot of them just because that's how his mind works. Like I remember seeing a YouTube clip of scenes from his movies, like some of the best scenes he's ever had, and he did all of them like on the fly. It wasn't written or anything. It was just being him. It's kind of crazy. Like
S-
Truman Show.
right.
Um,
I saw a blooper from The Grinch recently. I
yeah,
never
dude,
knew.
Grinch. One of my, yeah,
Have you seen that? Have you seen the part? There's a part where they left it in. It was real
yeah,
when he was supposed to grab a tablecloth and
yeah,
pull, and everything was supposed to come off.
yeah. But it
That
came
was the
off
scene.
perfect,
Yeah, and he went back and he just pushed the
and he
table,
ran
or no,
back.
or he just like went, yeah,
Yeah,
and but that was just him
yeah,
being
just
like,
being the Grinch, just being who we thought the Grinch was. It's
but the
really
scene,
awesome.
the direction was
Yeah,
pull the tablecloth and make everything like pull everything off with it, like it was
yeah,
supposed to be like a crash, and he
yeah,
didn't, yeah, he mistaked, and he went back and redid it on his own, which I thought
yeah,
was
yeah. And I can
like he
remember it. Like
right,
that moment stuck
that was
with me
real,
because
that
it's
was a
funny.
real moment,
Yeah, because he ran back and he knocked it off the table, and then
right.
he even lifted the table to like make it unbalanced, and it eventually fell over. I think.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, but you know, it's like, yeah, it's just things like that. I really like
Yeah,
Jim Carrey.
he's a really great actor. I watched one of the last movies I saw with him, and it was the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah. So I haven't seen that. Did you like it?
And I watched it not expecting much,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he made that movie.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
made that movie. Like it was all right. I mean, like the
Yeah.
voice actor for Sonic was great, and even
Yeah.
then, like it did really well to where they're making a sequel, and I want to
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but he made
But
that.
a lot of the heavy lifting was Jim Carrey. Yeah.
He was the perfect bad guy in that
Yeah.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
for him being you know, his enemy was a computer animated object was
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
he could do that. He can do it
Yeah.
well. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was good.
man.
He was really great in it. I loved it. I loved it.
Like that one. Kind of. Yeah. Like a lot of. Do you feel like they make movies like how they used to? Like, one of my favorites is like Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump is
To
good.
me,
That's
is one
right.
of my.
You're a Forrest Gump guy. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Because you like the song.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's
the Frank Ocean. Yeah, it's
yeah,
a really
Frank
good
Ocean
song.
likes Forrest Gump. Yeah, yeah, man. I just like how I like how it connects like a lot of history. There's a lot of like actual history in there, and you know their take on it. But what I like the underlying theme or motif of it is just that you know anybody can do anything really, and you know he was lucky in a lot of things, and you know a lot of the things that happened, but you know like one of the things that's funny is just the pure ignorance and him just doing the best he could and just became like crazy successful. He invested in some fruit company and just blew up.
Right.
Apple
Right. Some fruit company.
he was like, yeah, Lieutenant Dan got us invest in some kind of fruit company. And one day he said, you don't have to worry about money no more. And I
Right.
said, well, that's good. One less thing to worry about. It's one of my favorite. I say it all the time, man. Just it's one of my dreams where you know how there's just a lot of our culture is like you know grinding for the dollar and just grinding to become successful. You know what I mean? And every time I talk about my dream, it's to be able to say, well, we don't got to worry about money no more. And then I'll say, well, that's good. One less thing to worry about.
Hey, that's a great quote to have ready just in
Yeah,
case, you know.
that's
That's
a
a
dream,
great
man.
quote. Yeah.
That's a dream.
Wow. That's really
One less
great.
thing to worry about.
It's a good movie. I remember when it first came out, I was we bought it on VHS.
Yeah,
That was a movie we saw, and I remember being
yeah,
very sad when I saw it, when the leaf at the end.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
very sad, or it was a
yeah.
feather.
Well, that's kind of kind of a motif as well. Or it's a vision of the movie where you ever heard that song like "We're Just Dust in the Wind,"
Hmm.
where it talks about fate, it talks about choice, and one of his conclusions is, you know, we're not just like a feather blowing in the wind, but we also have choices. He thinks it's a mix of both.
Hmm.
He thinks it's a mix of chaos and choice. Which I think that duality is pretty amazing, man. Like, where I don't know, I think like there's just huge undertones of just someone's life. I mean, it follows him from a kid to an adult, and you go through so much in your whole life, and what's at the end of it. You know, like, what's your purpose? Which I kind of like it. It's what I like.
What about movies? Like, what other movie besides Forrest Gump are you into?
I mean, I like dramas like Shawshank Redemption. I really like. To me, I don't know, that movie's super
I,
super good.
I just saw that movie
Yeah,
for the first time in years. It's a good
yeah,
movie.
yeah. I love that movie. Movie's good. Um, and like, I don't know, it just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, but I like watching a lot of comedies. Like, we talked about John C. Riley earlier. Like, I really like Step Brothers. Um, Step Brothers I watch all the time. I like
Me
Will
too.
Ferrell.
Me too.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. I watch a lot of comedies. I mean, I think I saw Dumb and Dumber, like, I don't know. I want to say in the last few months, but
Oh, okay. The first
I
one?
couldn't. Huh?
The
Yeah,
first one. Oh, okay,
yeah. I
okay.
like the first one. Isn't there? There's three, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one I love. The second one I'll watch. I didn't like the third one.
Yeah. First one's the only one you should watch. They shouldn't be there
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna have to wrap this up.
Yeah. No worries. No, I
But
appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you. Sorry
No
for
worries.
rambling and talking
No,
your ear
no.
off.
I enjoyed it. You don't have to apologize.
Thank you for being a guest.
No
Hopefully
worries.
we could do this again if you're down.
Yeah, I'm down, man. I had a blast. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you so much. I'll see you at work. You work tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, man.
All right,
Have a good
man.
one.
Peace out.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.